Hey Doomers, welcome back. It's Thursday, September 26th. What's happening in the world? They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. But that's soon to change. In South Korea, they're putting a ban on dog meat consumption, hopefully, in the coming years, as all hell breaks loose. Amongst other things, a port strike, which all of you know about, is going to cause billions of dollars of damages to the economy, the sacred economy, which we rely so much on, which is primarily private equity, which owns everything from your testicles to cough syrup. Yep, they own it all. Walmart, Walgreens, Target, McDonald's, BlackRock, it's all subsidiaries of quick profits for money-hungry bastards in corporate offices way up in the sky. And I've been to these places firsthand, believe it or not, as a food courier delivering catering for hedge fund firms in Dallas. When I started this channel, I would go up into these private suites with NPCs sitting at their desks for 8 hours a day, doing nothing but moving numbers around on a screen, controlling our lives, destroying society. But thankfully, Meta has new technology and AI out to better our lives. From augmented reality to the new Meta Quest headset, you can now be more productive than ever to be a cog in the machine.
This is the new Meta Quest 3S. Into mixed reality, a really nice interface, so you can lean back, enjoy your content on nice big screens, controlling different interfaces, but you don't want to walk down the street like this, right? So
because most of us are too busy working our asses off to pay bills while food prices have skyrocketed. That is the universal gesture for going up, okay? And this is for you're dead. We're living it, as if our much bigger concerns are the war in the Middle East, which is escalating. Israel plans a ground invasion of Lebanon.
Israel now says its strikes into Lebanon are preparatory.
Happened 20 or so years ago. We're doing the whole song and dance again, perhaps involving other countries like Iran, Russia, and in particular Putin issues a nuclear threat to the West to screw up all of our lives for the sake of dominance in this insane, crazy, monkey, evil, ape-driven world, driven by emotions primarily, not getting anywhere to ensure that we have some sense of safety and peace, but there is none to be found in this world. Yes, it's pure evil. I just watched this 15-year-old girl shoot her mom in the face.
The jury seeing 5 days of disturbing evidence, including this surveillance video. First, you see Greg with a gun behind her back, pacing around the home. Then you hear gunshots. Greg returns to the kitchen, texting and playing with her dogs. Prosecutors say she shot her mother, Ashley Smiley, a 40-year-old high school math teacher, in the face.
Her 40-year-old mom, it's a few years older than me, a math teacher of all things, and then come into her living room like no big deal and play with her dogs. She then proceeded to attempt to shoot her stepfather as he came home, and yet still they are pleading for her innocence in court. Yeah, evil comes in many shapes and varieties. I know morality can be somewhat a flexible subject, blurry line, but I try to consider all entities when I make decisions, what would be best for all. I should also mention that I'm off right now, my day off, doing laundry in town. Off-grid life is good. Many of you know I live off-grid with only running water. The leaves have fallen. Europe's floods were much more prevalent because of climate change. Helene is drawing down on Florida as a Category 4, but I love how they always downplay it before it arrives. The mainstream media will say, it could be a Category 3. You automatically know from now on that it's at least that, but likely much greater, so it is landing as a Category 4. It's always underestimated, downplayed. Yet, that being said, 200,000 or so people live in Tallahassee, and the whole area is going to be, the whole Florida's just going to be underwater. insurance industry is going to go bankrupt. You're a clown for even attempting to move down south, which is why I moved to upstate New York. I'm in the southern tier of upstate New York, not to say that anywhere is safe per se, but from weather extremes, it's rather insulated up here in Maine and Northeast. So La Nina is around the corner. Climate migration is already here. The amount of people that fled from the floods in the Sahara and South Africa is mind-boggling. Too many to count. And on top of all this, if you don't know, South America is experiencing insane wildfires.
In northern Argentina, it's a race to safety as wildfires rage across the region and the continent, defying borders.
Pánico, no sabíamos ni qué hacer, la candela ya venía encima de nosotros ya.
While in Brazil, fires burn across 2 massive areas, including the Amazon.
Muito preocupado com todo mundo. Não é só uma, não, todo mundo.
The continent seeing 346,000 wildfire hotspots this year, according to Brazil's space agency, the highest number on record. Brazil currently experiencing a relentless drought, low water levels drying out habitats enough to beach and kill dolphins in the Amazon and create tinderbox conditions. The burning only adding to emissions. Fires in Brazil releasing over 180 megatons of carbon, on track to be the worst in 20 years.
So an expert that we spoke to pointed us to what happened in Australia back in 2020, the so-called Black Summer. Wildfires then emitted nearly 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide. That's more than is emitted from transportation and energy, burning of fossil fuels in a given year in Australia. What is happening in South America right now is not nearly quite that bad, but these major events keep happening year after year, all contributing to global warming.
Releasing more carbon and drawing up CO2 and global temperature records up. You know, it's feedback loops. In effect, positive feedback loops that make it worse for everybody. Yet somehow someone's going to come to office and not be bought out like the rest of the politicians and save us. We won't know the election results in November. It'll likely take weeks. It is comical that Trump would even admit that he won't run again in 2028 when clearly he's going to fucking jail after this election if he doesn't win, which we all hope. As Jane Fonda and many others expressed, we can't handle another 4 years of not just Trump, but 8 billion people on the fucking planet consuming all-out resources. All of it. I think Visual Capitalist just put out an article about how many Earths it would take to satisfy our needs in various countries from the developed nations, and it's definitely over 1, 2, 3, 4 Earths. But China is the largest emitter. Yeah, we all are a problem. Humans are the problem, destroying our own habitat. I admire the scholars in this field and platform like Beckwith and Guy for presenting us with new and credible information about ecosystems and climate migration. But as you know, many of us who are actually fucking awake and have our eyes open have to conform to this bullshit culture and society based on materialism, greed, ego, selfishness, and narcissism. Somehow we have enough audacity to care. We do. We have off time. You know, I watch these videos that they put out and I appreciate the scientific knowledge, but at the same time I know that most of us are fucking struggling to pay rent, to afford groceries, to even survive. Okay, listen to Marvin Gaye, Inner City Blues. I'm not gonna butcher it. It's such a good song. I was just reminded of that. I've listened to it so many times because it's so relevant. The purchasing power that my generation and younger has is laughable. The fact that wages haven't increased to keep up with cost of living, it's a fucking nightmare. It's a dystopian nightmare we're living through. Sure, maybe your parents died if you didn't shoot them in the face and you had some money inherited. You know, maybe opened up a car wash. You're doing all right, you know. But you're still paycheck to paycheck, like 78% of Americans, at least. It's just been a demoralizing experience, more or less, since I graduated high school. And all of these experiences have led me to just saying, fuck it, I want to go live off-grid and away from this insane, literally insane, culture and direction humankind as a whole is headed in. Never mind my sexual preference and being cast to the side in public. You know how many beautiful women I've seen in the city just walk by you, not even bat an eye. You don't even fucking exist. Men and women, if you want to go that way. They just get in their Mercedes and say, fuck you, I gotta get mine. It's horrible. It's horrible. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, living this fucking lifestyle. But we got video games and vape pens. Okay. Survival is tough. Extinction is the norm. This is what's happening in the world. I know I missed things happening all over in Canada, Japan. You know, China's advancing on the Philippines and Taiwan. Record warm oceans. Migration already occurring at a biblical scale. Wars ensuing. Nuclear threats from Russia, which China says, don't think about it. And somehow we're headed in the right direction. I'll just leave that there. Okay? Enjoy your weekend. Stay up to date. Hit subscribe and like. Use the PayPal donation link below. You just put in your card, real easy. You know, if you like this news, you like this content, I entertain you. I bring in the realness. If it's depressing, if it's doom and gloom, that's what it is. This is the doom wizard. This is what you signed up for, is reality. We're living in a dystopian nightmare. Okay, thanks. Talk to you soon.